Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/MaliciousCompliance. Let's start our video with a little revenge story during the divorce. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Make my life hell through a divorce and bankruptcy? Enjoy paying back taxes? 2 years ago, my marriage was in shambles. She was cheating, but still loved me, blah, blah, blah. Money troubles from her spending thousands on her side dude, so we filed Chapter 13. As part of the bankruptcy, attorney says to file our 2014 tax return and don't spend it. Well, she rushes through the process and forgets a W-2 of mine. Huge refund due to that. Guess who spent it? Yep. Throughout the proceedings, I decide to convert to Chapter 7 and divorce her. Made my new, soon-to-be single life difficult, refused to sign paperwork, made me hire someone to have her served, multiple court requests to be allowed to mail her the docs, all because she wanted me to keep paying her health insurance after the divorce. Ha! Spent hundreds on the paperwork and having a process server attempted to serve her a dozen times. Fast forward to this year, IRS is sending notices saying our 2014 return was wrong and there's back taxes due, $800. She sends me threatening emails about how I need to pay this because the tax return was in my name. We filed joint married. By this time, I've moved and changed my number, so the only way she can get in touch is by email. After a few emails over the months, I finally got a super pissy one saying how the IRS ate up her refund since she was the first one to file for 2015. She was foaming at the mouth, expecting a huge refund for getting married again and adopting his 3 kids. Nope. All in all, the IRS took back about $1,000 from her Fed/state returns, and of course she's crying that I'm to blame. Patience finally got paid off. And our second story. Managers think they're above everyone else and are too lazy to do their job. This actually happened a couple of weeks ago. I work for a company that processes highly perishable items and delivers them to grocery stores. One of the products we sell requires butter. Like clockwork, as soon as the warehouse gets low on butter, they send me out to pick some up from a supply store. I work in an office and it's not my job, nor is it my responsibility to pick up ingredients for the warehouse. But every time they send me because everyone else, including managers, are too lazy to go. The supply store we go to requires a membership card to enter the building. That card's been lost for months and the managers keep forgetting to get a replacement card. So each time I go, I have to acquire a temporary day pass. The last few times I went there, they've been warning me that they'll no longer offer day passes, and the only person who can acquire a new membership card is the person whose name's on the account, who happens to be one of my supervisors. I've been warning him over and over that he needs a new card because they'll stop letting me in the building. Each time I'm given the same answer, I'll go when I have time. Fast forward to today. The warehouse is once again in need of butter, and they once again ask me to pick it up because they're too lazy to go. This time, I did not remind them about needing a membership card because I've told them about it several times and they're too lazy to take care of it. So I wait until nearly the end of my shift to attempt to buy the butter, and I was told once again that I need a membership card and will not be allowed inside, just as I expected. Afterwards, I returned to the office telling my supervisor I was unsuccessful because, as I've stated several times, they're no longer offering day passes. It's now past 9 p.m. and everyone else has gone home. My supervisor has nothing else to say as he knew this was his mistake for being lazy, and at this point it's too late to go to the supply store because it's rush hour traffic, and by the time he'd get there, it'd be closed. Because of his laziness, they were not able to buy the butter in bulk and had to tell the customer they'll be short on that item. Easily a few $1,000s worth of sales lost due to lazy managers who think they're too important to do anything. After that, they stopped asking me to pick up butter. It seems a missing membership card is just the tip of the iceberg. And our next story. Rich person complains about pizza delivery not arriving sooner. I just started working for a big pizza delivery chain and was working last night, which was super busy thanks to the Wales versus Italy game, so a lot of orders were already a little delayed. The address on the slip was really awkward and read street name, road, postcode, I put it into Google Maps and it drops a pin about 8 minutes away, so I head off. Most of the deliveries I do in the town that the store is in, but this one was fairly rural. I turn onto the road named, and the pin is a mile or so down the road. I get to it and there's nothing around, so I keep driving until I run out of the 20 or so thinly sparser larger houses along its length. I've now seen that Google Maps just takes me to the middle of the road because the house is named after the road. Once I run out of houses without seeing anything, I turn around in a V narrow lane and pull over to call the store for advice as I'm still fairly new. I chat for a minute or so trying to determine my position, and finally we figure it out that the person at the store I'm talking to is an experienced driver who knows the place and has had issues before, gives me some actual reference for what to look for, so I head back along the road. It's worth noting that most people who have issues with delivery drivers not finding their address tend to put a delivery note with a little more information on it to help us. As I pull up, I see she's out by the gate to this huge, probably 6+ bedroom house with a long driveway and on the phone. It turns out she's on the phone back to the store currently arguing about getting store credit, presumably due to the delayed nature of the pizza. Even if I could have found this place on the first time, it had been max 5 minutes earlier. As she finishes up complaining, I'm sitting there holding the pizza looking for anything on the gate or wall that would tell me this was the right place. There's nothing, no house numbers. All the houses on this stretch are unnumbered, no house name or sign or anything. As she finally hangs up, having gotten her store credit, I unbag the pizza and hand it to her. I apologize for the delay and jokingly say, "This place is hard to find." She then says it's a bloody big house and would have been fine if you'd called me, etc. Problem with that is twofold. One, I try and call the customer if I think I'm broadly in the right area and need help finding this specific house, not just somewhere on 8 Mile Road. And second, she had clearly been on the phone for some time when I arrived, so would have been on the phone complaining to the store when I would have stopped and called her. Reminder that she left no delivery note telling us to call her, so first thing I'm going to do is drive the road and see if I can spot the house. Anyways, I head back to the store and chat with the guy who answered my call, and apparently she does this all the time. Orders pizza, doesn't add a clear address, complains about it not turning up on time, and gets store credit. Again and again. If you want delivery guys to find your house, make your house actually findable. And our last story. You're not responsible enough to own a house. In 2010, my husband and I rented a space in the RV in our friend's backyard as we were more or less homeless and it was very cheap. We lived there for 8 months, and as 20-year-olds, we fantasized about how we would improve their house if we owned it. We had some pretty grand plans, even shared some ideas with the owner, which he always shot down for one reason or another. We tried fruitlessly to keep the place clean, but these people were hoarders, and it was god-awful the amount of crap everywhere. The smell, too. It clung to everything. Luckily, we lived in the RV, not the house, and we only had to deal with it occasionally. In 2013, I caught wind that the owner hadn't been making the mortgage payment and was going to lose the house and business he owned. I called and talked to him about it, found out he still owed $80K on the house. Quite a pretty penny for sure, especially to a 23-year-old. I checked the property values and made an offer to buy his house for $140K through a bank and everything. So he'd no longer have to worry about it, and there'd be no foreclosure, and he gets an extra $60K to turn back into his business. I get a house, it's a win-win. You're not responsible enough to own a house. I would never sell this place to you. Oh well, okay, I guess. That sucks. I mean, I have a stable job, great credit, I've made sure that my responsibilities are taken care of, and, well, you're not really trying to salvage the place anyway. I guess bankruptcy is a better option then. 2015, been on the hunt for a house for a little over a year now. For serious, I'm going to own a house by the age 25. Going to do it. Getting tipsy at the bar with my wife and jerking around on my phone, looking at listings, suddenly, this place looks familiar. It dawned on me, without all the garbage and junk littering the property, this is the house we started at. Let's buy it. Without hesitation, I sent a message to my realtor telling her to submit a bid of $120K on it. We win the bid and close on the house, 5 days before my 25th birthday. He lost his house to foreclosure. I paid the bank for the house as he defaulted on his home loan, and they took it from him and sold it off to get the money back that they lost on the house. Spent the next 3 weeks cleaning and renovating the place and posting all the gross crap we have to deal with on Facebook for everyone to see. I wanted the house because I liked it and it fits my needs perfectly, but the sweet, petty feeling of getting it when they said we couldn't makes it feel so much nicer. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.